A series of explosions and air defense operations in Moscow Oblast overnight were reported by the Astra Telegram channel on April 10th, posting an eyewitness video of the helicopter-like drone flying low in the Naro-Fominsk district, some 70 kilometers southwest of the Russian capital. Air traffic control temporarily restricted all flights at Moscow's International Vnukovo Airport and Kaluga Airport. According to Kaluga Oblast Governor Vladislav Shapsha, Russian air defense forces allegedly shot down 6 drones. The country's defense ministry claimed that a total of 42 drones had been destroyed in the past 24 hours, including 1 over Moscow Oblast, 12 over Kaluga Oblast, and the rest over Kursk, Belgorod, Bryansk, Oral Oblasts, and occupied Crimea. Traditionally, the number of drones that successfully reached their targets was not reported. Ukrainian forces wiped out a Russian convoy of buggies and MTLBs on the Novopavlivka axis. The column was moving from Yasanove toward Bodanivka via the southern outskirts of Shribne. 155mm crews from tactical group Vyushladar went working and left nothing of the column. Ukrainian Defense Forces units, part of the Vyushladar Tactical Task Force, successfully repelled a large-scale Russian assault in the Pokrovsk sector. The Vyushladar Tactical Task Force reported on this. The enemy deployed 4 groups to perform the attack, advancing on foot, in ATVs, motorcycles, armored vehicles, infantry fighting vehicles, and tanks. Thanks to the effective intelligence work, the enemy's advance was detected in time, allowing Ukrainian defenders to prepare for the counterattack and deploy firepower in advance. The first to open fire on the enemy were the artillerymen, who, with a precise shot, destroyed the ATV being used by Russian assault troops. After the artillery strike began, Russian infantry and light vehicles started seeking cover in the nearest tree line. Meanwhile, drones with combat drops began targeting the infantry approaching on foot, eliminating several invaders. Due to the assault from multiple directions, Ukrainian defenders were forced to open fire on enemy armored vehicles as well. One such target was an MTLB with troops aboard. An FPV drone was directed at it, but the vehicle continued moving. After the infantry landed in the woods, the MTLB drove about 50 meters further and was hit by a second FPV drone. The Vyushladar Tactical Task Force noted that each enemy group had its own task and did not try to storm one specific position. Probably, the enemy planned to break through the Ukrainian defense or destroy its elements with a further attempt to capture the settlements of Bodanivka, Troitsky, and Horikov. Militarny previously reported that a Russian assault group of a dozen armored vehicles launched a suicidal offensive in a marching column and was completely defeated by drones and artillery. All armored vehicles, namely 12 armored vehicles and tanks, were damaged, 7 of them completely destroyed. Soldiers of the 3rd Separate Special Purpose Regiment cleared a part of a settlement of invaders. The Special Operations Forces press service reported on this and published a video on social media. The exact location of the operation has not been specified, with the only detail being that it took place in one of the hottest areas of the front. Operators of the 3rd Separate Special Purpose Regiment cleared a part of the settlement from the Russian invaders. During the operation, a group of 3rd Separate Special Purpose Regiment soldiers entered the village and checked all the buildings and shelters. The video shows Special Forces soldiers walking among destroyed and damaged private homes and outbuildings, searching for places where occupiers might be hiding. During the clearance operation, Ukrainian soldiers eliminated several Russian occupiers and seized their communication equipment. As noted, this allowed units of the Ukrainian Defense Forces and tactical groups of the 3rd Separate Special Purpose Regiment to move on to perform the following tasks. The observer Danspion on Twitter discovered from the video that the clearing was carried out in the village of Kotlin near Pokrovsk in the Donetsk region. Militarny reported that the soldiers from the 144th Center of Special Operations Forces blew up a building in the industrial zone where Russians were holed up and forced them to surrender. Prior to the attack, Ukrainian UAV operators offered the enemy soldiers a chance to surrender using a loudspeaker mounted on the drone. After the Russians refused, the center's 144th Group infiltrated behind enemy lines, mined the building, and detonated it. After the Russians refused, the center's 144th Group infiltrated behind enemy lines, mined the building, and detonated it. Kaja Kallas, it takes two to want peace, but it only takes one to want war. It is clear that Russia wants war. What is clear is that China is the key enabler or Russia's war. Without Chinese support, Russia wouldn't be able to wage the war in the amount that they are waging. We see that 80% of the dual-use goods are entering Russia via China.
Process. So, I mean, it takes two to want peace, but it only takes one to want war. And this is clearly what we see right now, that Russia wants war and continues with these attacks that are horrendous and more serious than ever, attacking children directly when, you know, no military buildings or military organizations around by attacking this civilian population. So yes, we heard the news, and of course we had the discussions also with Prime Minister Shmyhal about this and asked, what do we know about this? Of course it doesn't mean that the Chinese army is involved, but of course they can share the information that they know about this. What is clear is that China is the key enabler of Russia's war. Without Chinese support, Russia wouldn't be able to wage the war in the amount that they are waging this. So we see that 80% of the dual-use goods are actually entering Russia via China. We also see the North Korean troops present in Ukraine and the military equipment coming from North Korea to Ukraine, to Russia, and to fight the war against Ukraine. So it's clearly that if China would want to really stop the support, then it would have an impact.
10 people were injured in an overnight Russian drone attack on the Ukrainian administrative center of Mykolaiv, Regional Governor Vitaly Kim reported. A 29-year-old woman and a 59-year-old man were hospitalized with moderate injuries. 9 apartment buildings, 3 cars, 30 garages, and an administrative building were damaged by debris from the intercepted drones and the blast wave, he wrote, adding that the attack was carried out around 2:45 a.m. terrorists.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.